What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sole Vice. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Adidas UltraBoost DNA Parley in the Cloud White colorway.
I'm back on my bend rolls for the kicks. They quick to give them 2 cents. Put my circle tight like we glued hands. Like I don't believe in new friends. Trail light, I know the ice thin. I drop the song, get a few wins. I crave the comfort in my own skin. Really, I just want to feel the world spin. Puff a check, watch me double that. I get it lit, I watch it bubble up. Remember opening for shows, no a show, but I pulled through, I muscled up. Now the label one fuck with us. I spin the paper, let them know what's up.
Now, if you've been to the channel before, you already know how we're going to do this. This is going to be an in-depth review. I'm going to let you know everything you need to know about these, every single detail. I'm going to give you my opinion on them. And as always, you're going to be getting the best damn on-feet footage you're going to see of this sneaker or any other sneaker I review on YouTube. And it's going to be in buttery smooth 4K. Now, if you haven't been around the channel before, that's okay too. First of all, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. But if you're somebody who likes sneakers, you like reviews of sneakers, you like on-feet footage of sneakers, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below the video as well as the notification bell. That way you're notified when I post new videos. And then if you go on to like the video, also make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video as well. Hit that like button down below. It's free and it would really help me out. By the way, if you're looking for anything specific about these UltraBoosts, on every single one of my videos, you can always check in the description. I'm gonna timestamp out all the individual parts of the video. So if you're looking for something specific, like you wanna skip all the talking, you just wanna find out about the sizing, you just wanna find out about the materials used or how comfortable they are, you can always find all that stuff in the description. That way I can save you as much time as possible. All right, so with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the review. So these officially released on Adidas.com for $180 US on June 29th. However, they did do a pre-release for all of their Adidas Icon status members, and I am one of those people. So I was able to get these on June 26th. Now, unfortunately, Adidas shipping is not quite back up to speed. Like I said, I ordered them on the 26th. I didn't end up getting them until like July 5th or something like that. So it was like almost a week and a half until I got them. It's kind of weird that they're not really back up to speed because right now, like Nike, if you order something from them, it's pretty much back to the way it was. You get them in 3 to 5 business days on the free shipping. They're offering 2-day shipping again for $5. So I'm not too sure why Adidas isn't quite back up to full steam yet, but I'm sure they will be soon. But that's just something to keep in mind if you end up ordering from them in the near future. Now, as far as I can tell, these are completely sold out online. I can't find any official retailers that still have them in stock. But if by the end of this review, you want to cop a pair for yourself, go ahead and check the description below. I'm going to have a link to where you can get them for resale. And the great news is resale right now is either under retail or going for exactly retail, depending on what size you're looking for. There's a couple of like specialty sizes that are a little bit above, but I think the highest price that I saw was $300, which $20 over retail is really not that bad if you really like this pair of shoes. Now, what makes this pair of UltraBoost special is that this is a collaboration with the company Parley or Parley. I'm not too sure how to say it. Everybody says it a little bit differently. I'm gonna say Parley. Now, what Parley does is they go around to coasts along the ocean and they find a bunch of plastic that was in the ocean. They take that and they melt it down and they turn it into this yarn. So this upper is made out of recycled material, or mostly made out of recycled material. And I think that's such a cool idea. There's a lot of plastic in the ocean and it causes a lot of different problems for all kinds of ecosystems inside the ocean. So it's really cool that they're making these out of recycled material and just kind of like reducing their carbon footprint. I think that's an important thing to do. So I'm happy that they did that with these. So this entire white upper and these blue lines kind of along the upper, they're all made out of that yarn. And the upper on these is pretty interesting. It's kind of like got this dual layered look. So you've got the top layer that has all these blue lines on them, kind of wrapped around another layer on the inside. And to me, it's I don't know, it's kind of weird. I like it, but I don't like it. The only thing that is kind of weird to me is like the top down view of these, looking straight down on the ankle part. The ankle looks kind of bulky in my opinion. And then the back also has like this bump out, which I'm not really a huge fan of, but it's not a huge deal. I'm not like super complaining or anything like that. But I just thought it was worth mentioning that you do have like a really different upper on these than what you're used to with your regular UltraBoosts. And these are uncaged, of course, so there's no cage. So the laces on these are really kind of pointless. They're just kind of there for aesthetics. You can't really tighten the shoe itself too much without at least like kind of scrunching it down the middle, which wouldn't be a good look in my opinion anyway. But the laces are there just kind of like for aesthetics. I do think these would look a little bit odd if they didn't have laces on them at all. Now, the other interesting thing about the upper is that these remind me of another pair of shoes. Now, I have not heard anybody else draw this comparison or this parallel. So let me know down in the comments if I'm crazy, but these really remind me of a pair of Air Max 97s. There's a lot more lines on this, but Air Max 97s have like the same kind of like lines around the toe that swoop up onto the side to have that kind of like wave look to them. So I think it's really weird that Adidas would be okay with making an upper that at least draws some sort of a comparison or a similarity to another pair of shoes that happen to be a pair of Nikes. But again, I haven't heard anybody else say that, so maybe I'm just tripping. But these lines, I don't know, I can't help it. They just remind me of an Air Max 97. Now the thing is, the original Parley Adidas UltraBoost came out back in July of 2016, I wanna say. And they were really similar to these, but these blue lines were like super scrunched together, and there was a bunch of them. And they were like all over the upper of the shoe. I'll put a photo up here in the corner. And in my opinion, those ones, like, they didn't remind me of an Air Max 97 at all. But when they kind of like spread the lines out and made them a little bit less, you know, dense, to me, I don't know, it just reminds me of an Air Max 97. But again, that could just be me. And speaking of that 2016 pair, I kind of wish that these were just like a restock of those. I don't know why they didn't just restock them. I don't know if the material that was used on those was harder to mass produce, or maybe they just wanted to keep that pair limited. I'm not sure. These are just really similar to those, but just kind of like a, I don't know, like a knockoff version. I guess Adidas can't really knock themselves off, but I don't know. To me, these just are like so close, but they're not quite there. And they kind of like feel a little bit more like an entry-level Adidas shoe. They don't really feel as like high quality or top tier as those did. And now I say feel, but I never saw those in hand. So maybe in hand, I'd get a different impression. But at least to me, just kind of like seeing these and seeing those just kind of like looked more like a top tier, you know, flagship Adidas product. Now, one other feature on the upper to mention is you do have an Adidas 3 stripes embroidered here on both sides of the upper. This is embroidered in kind of like a glossy or shiny yarn. So it's really subtle. You don't even really notice it until you hit it in just the right lighting. In certain angles, you can't even really see that it's there. So I like how subtle it is, and it really lets these blue lines that kind of drape over the rest of the upper really take kind of like main stage and be the standout feature of the upper. And I'm sure you guys will be surprised to know that the midsole on these is a full-length Boost midsole. Of course, that is the standout feature of any UltraBoost. And this midsole is the same one that they used on all the UltraBoost from the 1.0 to the 4 and all the UltraBoost in between there. So it's not the one that they've used on the 19 and 20 most recently. And that goes for the outsole as well. Same Continental rubber. You've got that same circular grip pattern with the Continental logo up on the toe. You've got the same torsion plate system. Everything is exactly the same from the UltraBoost 1 all the way through 4. As far as sizing goes on these, unfortunately, I did not learn from my mistakes when I ordered the UltraBoost 1.0 a little bit ago. By the way, I did do a review on these, so if you want to catch that review, make sure to check up in the corner as well as down in the description below. I'll link to that review. But I went true to size on these and they were way too snug. I did the same thing here, and again, way too snug. The only difference is the ankle collar area on these is not quite as tight as on the 1.0. So in that aspect, they're not quite as small, but just overall the fit is too snug in my opinion if you go true to size. I don't know if maybe I have wide feet, but if I were you, I would go at least half a size up on these. The good news is though, if you take out the insole on these, you'll be okay. I take out the insole and they fit perfectly. So if you can go true to, if you can go a half size up, but if you go true to size, you'll be okay without that insole in there. And speaking of that insole, that's actually one more detail that I did want to mention. I thought it was pretty cool that on the left shoe, you've got the Boost logo, and then on the right shoe, you've got the Adidas logo as well as the Parley logo. So let's talk about comfort on these. So as I mentioned before, you do have the typical full-length Boost midsole of every other UltraBoost, but in my opinion, that's really only half of the comfort when it comes to UltraBoost. These aren't the most comfortable shoes around just because of that midsole, but it's also because of the upper. So a typical UltraBoost has this super stretchy, super breathable prime knit upper, and to me that's just as important to the comfort aspect as the Boost midsole. So if you're somebody who likes that prime knit upper, you're gonna miss that on these. Now, I know some people kind of miss the structure of a typical or average shoe when they're wearing a shoe with prime knit, so if you're one of those people, maybe you'll like this, but I think most people are really gonna miss the prime knit feel of a typical UltraBoost, so just keep that in mind when you're going to cop these. Now, a lot of people ask me what I wear in my on-feet footage, so what I'm gonna start doing for you guys, down in the description, you're gonna find links to the pants that I'm wearing. In this review, I'm also gonna include a link to the no-show socks that I typically buy to wear with low-cut shoes like these. I think they're great for summer. That's the look that I like. I'm not really a high-cut sock with shorts kind of guy. So if you're interested in what I'm wearing in the on-feet, make sure to check the description below. All right, guys, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash the like button if you like the review, and other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.